Ellis driving baseline. What a dive!
Wickham, how sweet was that? Step back three,
Wow.
Taylor George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic, it was impressive, it was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melvin, the lefty lay-in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from three. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.
Hello and welcome to the second match of a Sunday doubleheader as the Sydney WNBL heads to Mildura, where ladder leaders Bendigo take on the Sydney Flames to close out round 11 of the competition in beautiful conditions. These two sides met just 10 days ago, where the Spirit were too strong to win by 21 points, with the Flames hoping to avoid the clean sweep and get back on the winners list today to keep their finals hopes alive. Jess Webster with you alongside a WNBL legend, former player and coach Larissa Anderson. Larissa, welcome to you. What are we going to get this afternoon?
Who knows, Jess, after what we just saw then, that was between Geelong and Perth. Look, this is a big game for the Sydney Flames. They are fighting for that fourth spot. It is wide open, but they are favourites for it. But they're hit with injury woes, unfortunately, with Clark and Roof still sidelined with injury, who'd be so helpful for them tonight. So they've got to just throw it all at a very, very impressive informed Bendigo Spirit.
Absolutely. It's a crazy ladder at the moment. It's been a crazy round, a crazy season. We're still wrapping our heads around that thriller three-point victory over the Lynx over Geelong earlier today, 80-77. This is the round 11 fixture at the moment. Another really tightly contested round. This is the final game of round 11, and it's a big opportunity for the Flames, as we've mentioned, coming up against the Bendigo side, who really have barely put a foot wrong so far this season.
They really haven't, but you look at the results there. That's 3 wins in a row for the mighty Capitals. You've been now commentated a few of their games, and you could just see the improvement going. So they would have to be talking about, okay, mathematically we're a chance and we've got some momentum here. And as you said, Bendigo are the team to beat. We're all chomping at the bit for the matchup between Bendigo and Perth on Wednesday night. But first, this game, like what just happened to Perth, Bendigo need to be careful because these teams are fighting for their season.
Absolutely. You certainly want to head into a top-of-the-table clash like that, full of momentum. So Bendigo return home, kind of. We're in Mildura. We're
Kind of, sort of.
But they've had a really successful road trip of late. They've been all over the country. Adelaide, Townsville, and Sydney, as we mentioned just 10 days ago, 3 from 3. They had a minor slip up in round 8. They lost 2 games a few weeks ago, and that is their only losses they've had to date. So they certainly are the best team in the competition so far. As we take a look at Kelsey Griffin, who, what hasn't she done in this competition, but showing absolutely no signs of slowing down at 37 years of age. 18 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 steals against Sydney. She was superb. And also Kelly Wilson, who, it's a new week and potentially a new record that she's going to break this afternoon. She needs 4 assists to break the all-time WNBL assist record. And have a look there at some of the names on that list. It's an amazing company she's in.
Yeah, Kelly Wilson is the veteran of all veterans. She's doing all us old girls proud, the fact that she's still in there. But doesn't this Bendigo team just boast veterans? You just touched on Kelsey Griffin, who's 37 young. And again, all that comes with that is experienced and a cool, calm head. And Bendigo have got a plethora of them between Wickham, Tolo, Burton, Griffin and Kelly Wilson. What a blessing for Coach Kennedy to have the calibre of those girls to just rally. And you can just see it in the games that they have been challenged, the games that they haven't quite got it done. Those girls just step up and say, jump on board, girls, we know what to do. And it's just a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, it's amazing longevity as well by Kelly Wilson. She's 40 years of age and is still at the top of her game. And an important battle this afternoon, as we've mentioned, for the Sydney Flames. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. Their win-loss record on the road this season is 1-4. They've had their injury concerns so far this season, but importantly, they're clinging on to that 4th place on the ladder at the moment. So they really want to get back onto the winners list. But it's been a tough season for them so far, and yet they would take some confidence and belief in knowing that they're still amongst the frontrunners.
Absolutely, and we touched on this in the Geelong game earlier, that the fact that they've had so many injuries, it's allowed these younger new players to get a lot more game time than what would have been planned. So in situations like this, they should be ready to go. It's great to see Talia Tupea back out there. She's only played the 2 games of the season, one big standout 20-point game. I mean, she's been around for a long time. She has got so much talent, and unfortunately, just injuries do tend to be her woe. But she has got so much ability. Swain is a really exciting player. We've got Taylor out there, and of course, their veteran George, who has just had a phenomenal season. And we just talked about Bendigo's experience. Well, you don't get more experience than Kayla George.
Yeah, Kayla George certainly doing everything she can to get her side into finals. We're underway. Mildura immediately. Bendigo pounce, and they get the first points of the day through none other than Sammy Whitcomb.
The perfect start for the Spirit there.
Sammy Whitcomb, the leading points scorer of the competition, averaging the 20 per game, and she was her first in a matter of seconds. And they've coughed it up, Sydney, so Bendigo back the other way. Whitcomb wanting to add a couple more from the corner. That one bobbles out. Celeste Taylor gives it to Shanice Swain, bright young player of the competition at 21 years of age. This is her first opportunity.
Well, she was just out injured a lot last season, which unfortunately meant we didn't get to see as much of her, but she had a phenomenal NBL 1 season with Geelong, and now much bigger playing minutes this season. She is really exciting to watch.
Kelly Wilson with possession. She's given away the foul.
Nice little high five with Kelly Wilson's elbow there.
Talia Tapay, as we've mentioned, so great to see her back. She incredibly debuted in the WNBL in 2012 as a 15-year-old, the second youngest in WNBL history. She spent some time away from the game, some time in New Zealand, back in the competition. Here she is on cue. Beautiful pass to George. He gives it to Brand Catazano, makes her move inside. Oh, it just can't find the finish.
That was such a good drive there. Just a shame it didn't finish, but great play there by Sydney. They've had a couple of good looks.
Coming off a 21-point loss to Bendigo 10 days ago, Sydney. So no time to dwell on that. Griffin, her first shot is off target.
Now, part of you kind of thinks, oh, we've got to play them already, but then the positive to that is you learned so much from those losses, and then you have the chance to bounce back again and show that you've learned from those.
Swain in the corner. Throw over the top to Taylor, was one of their best in that loss. And she sends that one out of play.
So just a couple of frustrating turnovers for Sydney early here, and that has been the story of many of their games this season. They need to try and keep those turnovers down, the unforced errors.
A bit of a scrappy start to this contest in Mildura, the final game of round 11 of the Signet WNBL competition. Bendigo looking for their 13th win of the season. Sydney's win-loss record sitting at 5-7. They're clinging on to 4th position on the ladder. A win here would be huge. Griffin making a move on Taylor. Just full of class, full of experience, and full of skill.
Absolutely. It's just having her way there in the post.
You could watch her play basketball forever, I think.
She really is quite textbook. Everything's fundamentally very sound, reads the play really well. She's just a very high IQ. And I'm yet to meet a player that doesn't absolutely adore playing with her.
4-time WNBL champ, 3-time WNBL Grand Final MVP, and Kayla George, that's one way to get the Flames on the scoreboard.
That's what we're here for. Plays like that, you cannot give Kayla any type of look.
Speaking of superstar veterans of the competition, Kayla George is exactly that. Still performing at such a high level. Here's Burton for the Spirit. Handing it off to Griffin. Off the glass for 2.
You can see there, she's not a player that predetermines the move she's going to make. She just reads the D so beautifully, makes the high percentage play.
Swain from the corner. A couple of back-to-back triples for the Flames to get their scoring underway.
And that's Swain's game. If she gets her eye in, this could be a very entertaining match.
Beautifully moving through traffic and finding the finish was Burton. That was a nice move. 2-point lead to Bendigo. George into the corner. for Brancatizano, is offline. Great offensive rebound from George. They go for it again from long range, and Taylor knocks it down.
3 threes, that's a lovely way to start. Credit to Kayla on the boards. With Roof out, Kayla's really got so much work to do on that board, on the boards, because even with Clark out, she's that tall guard, so they really are missing a lot of length.
Griffin has started on fire. And Sydney by a point.
Bendigo just have so much depth. You just mentioned there that Kelsey's having a great start to the game. And, I mean, there's some games that you look at her stats and think she's been quiet, but in actual fact, it's just that a Sammy Wickham or a Tolo or a Burton or a Samuels, who's now has been starting but is coming off the bench as 6-man now with Griffin back in there. They have just got so much scoring power.
Griffin 2 from 2, and started brightly, coming off a superb performance against Sydney 10 days ago. 18 points, 13 rebounds. Continuing on with her good form, and that is a beautiful move from Shanice Swain.
Similar to what we were discussing with Atwell, Swain has got such a potent shot that she now demands that attention on the three-point line. So it's opening up that driving lane, and she's just so athletic.
Burton goes bang. Geez, we've seen them knock down some triples from both teams early stages, first quarter.
I think this Mildura crowd must be very pleased with the decision to come out and back their Bendigo spirit right now. This game has started, other than the first couple of possessions, Jess, has turned positively very quickly.
Certainly getting their money's worth.
So ref just stopping the play there to reset to 14.
So for the Sydney Flames, how do you digest a loss against Bendigo like they did? 21 points 10 days ago. You got to back up and face them again. Do you spend time looking at the tape? How do you kind of turn it around, I guess, from their mindset first and foremost?
You absolutely do, and I think it's similar to what I said a couple of minutes ago, in that you could look at it two ways and say, well, do we hate the fact that we're playing them again? You're not going to be able to change that, so it's a positive that you're going to be able to actually get the chance to fix those things straight away and show the improvement that you've made. You either win or you learn, right, Jess?
Absolutely. And this game is sort of playing out the way it did last round. It was a tightly contested first quarter. Bendigo did the damage in the middle quarters, and the match was all pretty much in doubt at three-quarter time as
Casey Samuels comes straight off the bench and does what she's been doing all season and hits that big three.
Just so potent. Swain trying to respond in similar fashion.
Sorry, Jess, on the back of what you just said then, the fact that the Sydney Flames did stay with Bendigo's spirit in that last game in the first quarter, that would be one of their targets today, is to make sure that they can prove that they can stay with them for the game.
Great team play, and they get the N1.
On the other end, the spirit will be out to prove that they cannot, and to have a much better first quarter, which at the moment they really are. Veronica Burton, you talked about exciting imports in the last game. She's definitely right up there. She's just gotten better and better. She's such a facilitator, but she's also averaging nearly 15 points a game. So she's proving that she's a potent scorer. She gets up the floor. She's she averages 6 rebounds a game and 4.5 assists. So she's really filling up the stat sheets.
24 years of age, really growing in stature. Award-winning college career in the US. Pick number 7 back in 2022 WNBA draft, and we see another triple go down. This time from Brancatizano.
Love to see her shooting that three. She just missed one a few possessions ago. So defense is going underneath.
Samuels pulls the trigger, can't get it to go. 5-point lead to the Spirit. High scoring affair. Early stages in Mildura. Tupaya makes a move. She's heading to the charity stripe. So you think also maybe a KPI for Sydney coming into this one is Bendigo put on 92 points, sorry, in their contest last round. that is above their average of 86-point game, which is still pretty
Still
potent.
very
So-
high, absolutely. But when you look at the scoring power that they've got, it's no surprise. It's very similar to Perth, who are averaging 87 points. So no surprise that Bendigo and Perth are the two teams sitting up the top of the table. They've got the most depth, the most firepower, and we'll get to see that unfold against each other on Wednesday night.
So far the Flames going toe-to-toe here, down by 3. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. This is Burton. And now a couple more through Whitcomb. So having a few technical difficulties as well. Apologies, we don't have a shot clock currently on our scoreboard on screen. We have to have that return shortly. Here's Tupaya for the Flames. Good defense. Brancatizano gets the rebound. And we'll reset and go again.
So having a few issues at Mildura also, just when a shot goes up, they're not quite getting to reset it to 14. So there's been a couple of stops here, but I'm sure it'll all sort out as the game unfolds.
That's Tupaya looking to make her move. That's a hard finish, and she somehow gets it done.
She is so physically strong. I had the pleasure of coaching her in the under-19s. It is phenomenal, and I don't use that word often because I always get told off, but her strength is just outstanding for a guard. She's extremely hard to move, and the balance that she creates for herself on her shots, she just gives herself so much more time and space.
Certainly enjoying seeing her back in the competition. A miscommunication there. Ball goes out of play, and it will be Spirit with possession. It's a nice free-flowing game of hoops so far.
Yeah, Flames maintaining, it's only a 5-point game, but they've just got to tighten up on those turnovers, and this game will be a lot closer.
Whitcomb getting around Brancatizano, had a fumble, recovered, couldn't quite get it to go down. Leading MVP contenders this season. Chance for Dees. Another triple goes down.
Isn't she an impressive young lady, Bonnie Dees? I mean, only just finished year 12. Again, getting probably increased minutes and opportunity in the WNBL this year, but boy, is she taking it.
Yeah, 21 years of age, is out of Frankston, represented both Victoria and Australia at junior level, and finds her way to Sydney. Abby Werung has turned it over. George hands it off to Dees, the one we were just speaking about. Tries the reverse, but is denied. Well done from Samuels. Whitcomb, Tolo involved.
I think that was called a Wickham Tolo sandwich.
Tough position there for Brancatizano. So just 2 points the margin away at Bendigo. Nice scoring affair so far, and that'll be a foul. Sammy Whitcomb, one of the leading MVP contenders of the competition. Pretty deadly at the free throw line as well. Percentage in the 90s. 1 from 2. Tolo, though, with the offensive rebound. Gives it off to Wilson. They reset. She's calling the shots, and we're just going to have another break because we're still having a few technical difficulties out there. So apologies. We do not have the shot clock on screen at the moment. Hoping to get that rectified as soon as possible. Three-point lead the way of the Spirit. Wilson for 2. Nicely done. into the final minute of a free-flowing opening quarter here at Mildura. Flames looking to keep their finals chances alive. Bendigo want to secure top spot. And that pass from Pittman. Looking for Morris.
It was the right idea. Yeah, right idea. Just needed to get it up a lot higher towards the left of the basket. But that mid pick and roll did look good.
Wilson off to Wickham. Oh, the step through traffic. Outstanding.
If you like, yes. I mean, you're just seeing that again. Wickham, you can't leave her at all from the three. So the driving lane does tend to open up.
She is applying the pressure at the defensive end. She's giving away to foul. She's not happy with herself.
You just love the way she goes about it, don't you? I mean, you look at her stats, 21 points a game, 6.8 rebounds as a guard is such a great effort. 5.2 assists, 1.7 steals. She's not slowing down anytime soon. She is just as pro as they come. So much fun to watch.
36 years of age and potentially going to win the league MVP. Had an incredible season. Swain puts a shot up, it's no good. And that'll be the end of a free-flowing opening quarter here at Mildura, but it is the top of the table leaders, the Bendigo Spirit, leading the Sydney Flames 28-21. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
That is money! Put your hands together for Maya, folks!
Quarter time in Mildura, and it is the ladder leaders, the Bendigo Spirit, off to a hot start. They're leading the Sydney Flames 28-21. They lead by 7 points as we get the second quarter underway. Jess Webster and Larissa Anderson with you in commentary. I mean, a fairly even first quarter, even though Bendigo lead by 7. Sydney still have managed to get some of the scoring flowing of their own, and so far keeping in touch with Bendigo.
Yeah, absolutely. Similar to the last time they played, it was a fairly tight first quarter. They've just got to look after the ball. It's always the turnovers for Sydney.
That's the second personal on Abby Werong to get us underway.
But Sydney are getting some great looks. They've had some great looks inside that have just rolled in and out. So if they can start to, then I mentioned their mid pick and roll looked really good. So if they can start finishing those plays, this game can turn very quickly.
Work it into the corner to Swain, back to Tapia. Gives it to George, Tapia gets it back. Now off to Taylor from deep, knocks it down.
Just great ball movement there from Sydney, and Taylor waited to finish the play.
Takes the tally to 13 points so far, so she started very strongly. No, sorry, my apologies. That's 6 points. But that's a second triple. Here is Burton out to Samuels, top of the arc. That's off target. Four-point lead the way of the Spirit. Looking for a clean sweep over the Flames. The third win this season, potentially this afternoon. Swain to feed George. Great defense from Bendigo. Fast transition down the end from Burton, denied by Swain.
They are the best kind of blocks. Block and possession. Sydney running. This would be very nice.
Bounces off the rim.
Unfortunately not to be, but Sydney have come out really energetic in this second quarter, which is exactly what we need, what they need.
Wilson, it's gone out of play. Great work from Swain, and it'll be a Flames ball.
Kelly Wilson just asking the question, which I probably would ask as well. How did I go out of court that way? But I do like when they allow, as long as they let it go both ends, they're allowing a bit of physicality out there, letting the players do the talking.
So 6 Sydney players in that opening quarter got on the scoreboard, which has been a pleasing aspect. It'll have to take a full team performance to take down this formidable Bendigo team. Swain puts the shot up, it's no good. The Spirit Burton already in double digits with 10. Here she is, ball in hand, gives it to Whitcomb. Shares it with Griffin. 2 veterans combine, make it 3 veterans as Wilson tries to give it to Tolo. Good hustle from the Sydney defense.
It does surprise me sometimes for us, just the amount of passes that go down to Tolo's feet through bounce passes or at the knees. She's one of the legit bigs of the league. You've just really got to throw the ball up high, let her do the work, let her do the rest.
George to Taylor in the corner.
Great extra
Swinging
pass.
around the arc. Swain pulls the trigger. Can't get it to go. Spirit by 4.
Once again, some really nice ball movement there by the Flames.
Whitcomb. Oh, good block in there from George, but Whitcomb will get it back. He can reset. She finds a way through again. That's the second time she's done that.
You can see there, because the attention that Tolo attracts underneath, split line just was non-existent because they're too worried to leave Tolo, but Sydney really need to address their split line there.
Swain draws the foul. She's heading to the line. It's pretty impressive from Bendigo to be in the form that they are. We mentioned they're coming off a road trip all around the country. Adelaide, Townsville and Sydney, 3 games in a row. They came away with 3 wins, and here they are in Mildura, kind of a home away from home. Do you think it'll catch up with them at some point? I mean, they continue to get the job done.
They're pretty deep, and I think that's one of the big reasons why they're having the season that they're having, other than obviously they've got the very high caliber players, but they do have depth. And these road trips, if you have a look at all the girls' socials, they're doing it in style. They're making the most of it. They're travelling around together, having some fun, which is exactly what the season's about.
Burton from long range. No good, but Tolo with the putback. They just have weapons everywhere. She'll head to the line for the and 1. Just so strong.
The refs are having a discussion here on who the foul was on.
Tolo speaking about experience and just all kinds of skill out there. All-time leaders of blocks. She's right up there. Looks like Kayla George as well on the opposing team this afternoon. What a player she's been. 4-time WNBL champion, an Olympian as well. We've just got stars out there everywhere.
We really do. I mean, discussed it earlier, how much we love the WNBL and how we're probably a bit biased, but really for good reason. It's such a fantastic league. It's been a big part of so many people's lives for so long. And we just keep getting better and better players every single year for that reason. And something tells me it's going to get to a whole new level very soon.
Yeah, certainly excited for a brand new era of the WNBL from next season onwards, but this season is shaping up to be an absolute ripper. As Mariana Tolo finds herself at the line, a chance to thank Signet. Stay power with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment. Visit signet.com to find your perfect power bank. As Tolo misses the N1, but she'll do it all again.
I absolutely love that she went one-on-one there. She knew she had the mismatch, but you see Tolo actually kick that out a lot, but she just explored that every option there and finishes it.
Okay, take 2 from the charity stripe.
Hopefully they don't make her wait as long. There we go. That was good strategy by the Flames before.
And she does complete the 3-point play. The Spirit's lead now is out to double digits, 10 points. Sydney would love a settler here. Swain makes a move, but she has drawn the foul.
Well, Swain did a great job of just punishing the switch there. Fantastic drive, great finish.
She's also putting together a fabulous season, equal 3rd in the competition for average points per game. And she averages a 16.6.
Credit to George there, setting such a great screen that Burton wasn't able to recover. Tolo had to come across. A nice 3-point play.
Samuel's a little fumble. Gives it back to Wilson, chasing the all-time assist record here this afternoon. Whitcomb to Griffin. Samuels back to Griffin. Now goes for 3. It's off target. Burton. She's also no good. And Sydney with the stop, the fast transition. Swain for the finish. We are heading to a timeout. Coach Kennedy Kariyama calling the timeout as the Flames close to within 5 points here in the second quarter. Spirit 35-30. A good little mini fight back here from the Flames.
Absolutely, off the back of a couple of better defensive stops. They do need to address their offensive blocking out. They've got a lot of, they give up a lot of height out there. George is their only really true big when Morris isn't out there.
This timeout is brought to you by the WNBL app. Make sure you're following all of the live stats of today's game in the free WNBL app. You can also check out game highlights, team and player info, and plenty more. So make sure you download it from the App Store today. So the point scorers for Bendigo Burton in double digits. She's got 10. Whitcomb going along nicely with 9. For the Flames, the spread of contributors so far, Swain now leading the way with 11, including 3 rebounds. And Taylor as well, who had an equal game high and team high 20 points and 4 assists 10 days ago in their loss against Bendigo. She started promisingly with 6 points this afternoon. Back underway. Whitcomb on the perimeter. Now driving towards the basket. That misses. George with a rebound off to Taylor. To Tapaya. A welcome addition to this lineup. Swings it across to Taylor. Oh, looking to go to George, but well defended. Samuels takes it away.
Yeah, just a little bit too ready for that one. Good D there by the Spirit.
Wickham, beautiful pass to Griffin. How about that? Excellent from Bendigo.
Beautiful mid-pick and roll.
George gives it to Swain. Off the glass. Oh, just off target. That's a heavy landing from Wilson. Hope she's okay. Meanwhile, Griffin gives it to Whitcomb. Steps back, swings it across to Burton. Now into the corner. Working the perimeter. Burton goes herself for three. Griffin with the O board and finds the finish.
She just positions herself so well in there. She's an undersized big for the 4 or 5. At times she even plays unbelievably. She's really more a 4 or 3. She just works so hard in there.
Good news is Kelly Wilson's back to her feet.
She's a tough cookie, Kelly Wilson.
Is.
That was a hard 4 between Swain and her.
So she needs 4 assists to break the record. She's on 1 at the moment. There's a replay. Yeah, that hurts. And we're going to head to another timeout here in the second quarter as the Spirit out to a 9-point advantage. They led by as much as 10 points earlier in the quarter. So do you think Sydney will be happy with their start here, considering the loss they had 10 days ago?
Look, I think so overall, but at this stage last game they were starting to get a lead. It is back out to 9 points, so they've got to be careful here and be very mindful that if you do allow a few possessions where you just don't capitalise against Spirit, they're going to punish you. So I think a pretty good timeout here to just calm, call a couple of plays, work out what you need to do. They need to get some points on the board pretty quickly and work out how to slow down
they cannot
the Spirit.
afford to let this margin grow out any further. Tough to reel in Bendigo. This timeout is brought to you by CTM Sports, calling all sports teams. Say goodbye to travel headaches and hello to CTM Sport. CTM are 100% committed to delivering excellence in their field. Leave the logistics to the travel experts so your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ctmsport.com.au. Spirit, just the 2 losses so far this season, both coming in round 8 to Perth and Southside in an upset victory ahead of a top-of-the-table clash against Perth on Wednesday night. Can Bendigo get better?
Absolutely they can. They still have little lapses, and we commented on Perth's lapse when I commentated them last week. You can and even today, I mean, credit to Geelong, but Perth showed today as well that every team has weaknesses and they all have little lapses, and you just can't afford to do that. It gets punished. So scaringly, Bendigo can absolutely get better.
Here's a scary prospect indeed. Here is Bran Catazano. Gives it to Morris onto the floor for the Flames. Just can't get it to go.
It was a good look though, and I'd love to see them go at Morris a bit more, and she just at times amazingly hesitates with that beautiful size that she's got over everybody.
Abby Warren also onto the floor for the Spirit. 3.5 to go in the first half. Bendigo in control. Oh, the fender from Samuels is illegal.
And a couple of those from that very spot.
Let's get a look on replay.
Another high 5 with the elbow. There.
I'm not sure you're going to get away with that.
That is why you wear a mouth guard.
Yeah. Morris. That's a nice move.
That's a
That'll do
lovely
a
move.
confidence. A world of good. As Bran Catazano sends that out of play. So Bendigo will reset.
Morris has great size, much needed for the Flames, and she's had some real standout games where she's just looking more and more comfortable.
And one of their American imports, born in California, she's played all over the world as Morris, and Czech Republic, Greece, Israel, Turkey, and of course America. And she finds herself in Australia, so well travelled. Pittman for the Flames. To Bran Catazano. Beautiful bounce pass to Morris. Finds a couple of baskets in a row.
Yeah, back-to-back baskets for Morris. They've got to keep going until Bendigo make an adjustment here. You just mentioned before, can Bendigo get even better? These are the little lapses that they tend to have sometimes, and it allows teams to stay with them.
and 2.5 to play in the first half.
I believe it should only be a 5-point ball game. Again, we're just having a few little tech issues.
And a physical encounter so far. Look at the replay. Oof, right to the right to the gut there. Brancatazano to her feet.
She is a tough little player, and you can just see that hurt.
Yep. Another one born in Melbourne and finding her way to Sydney this season. 30-year-old. 5-point lead the way of Bendigo. Flames trying to generate a bit of momentum heading into half-time. Morris comes up short. Werung swings it across to Tolo. They're looking at Burton, trying to go back inside to Tolo, and that's come off Sydney. So he'll remain with the Spirit. So Burton started strongly for the Spirit, 10 points, 5 rebounds already as we approach half-time. Griffin also up to the 10 points, 3 rebounds, coming off a dominant performance against the Flames last round. Samuels from deep.
That's what she does. She's a beautiful shooter. Will not hesitate to put those shots up. Nor should she.
Bendigo push the margin back out to 8 to pay to respond. It's no good. Pittman keeps it alive though. Can go again. Final 90 seconds of the first half. Swain. She also can't get the job done. Wilson takes it down the other end. They work it around the perimeter to Werung, who's also pretty handy from this range. Not on this occasion. Swain looking for support to Paya. There's a couple to beat. Swings it out to Morris. Seconds tick down. Swain puts it up. She's no good. Second opportunity for Sydney. Brancatazano gets around Wilson. Wants support, and it's just come unstuck.
Look, they've got some really young, even a couple of inexperienced players out there. They're doing some really good things. They're just at the end of play, sometimes just a few like that one wayward passes, but they've got the right idea. They've just got to be that little bit more patient. You can see Swain on her last 2 shot attempts have been very off balanced.
And we mentioned off the top, it's just been a bit of a up and down kind of roller coaster type season for Sydney. They've had some injury issues, they've had some good performances, some not so good performances. They're sitting in 4th position at the moment, so they're still on the ladder, well in contention to play finals. Do you think they'll make the top 4?
Well, looking at the ladder at the moment, they would be my tip, but I mean, they really need these players to come back in. And as you said, there's been some real standout. They have shown what they're capable of in some big games this year, and then it's just a classic case of a young team. You make mistakes and you're inconsistent. So that would be what Guy Malloy would be working on week in, week out, no doubt, is trying to get some consistency together with the group, considering he has had no consistency with the group.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do. So I think credit to them to even be kind of thereabouts still, considering the ins and outs that they've had all season.
It's a timeout here late in the second quarter. This timeout is brought to you by Ford. Ford dealers, all about supporting the game here in Australia, from Ford Aussie Hoops right through to the WNBL. They've been backing Aussie sports and communities for nearly 100 years. So when you're ready to hit the court, the local Ford dealer is here to help you get to the game. Still within reach, the Flames, as we tick down towards half-time. 8 points the difference, and Bendigo with possession. Burton hands it off to Wilson. Never reliable. To Burton, who started strongly. Trying to work it inside. It's Tolo against George. They kick it out to Burton, who pulls a trigger and fires a big shot from long range to put the exclamation mark on a dominant first half of basketball from the ladder leaders Bendigo Spirit. Burton on the buzzer says thank you very much as Bendigo take a 45-34 lead into halftime.
Jackson blows the roof off. Wow, it's LJ the GOAT. There's Jackson again.
Well, that's something that they're going to have to take care of business.
Through every heartache, through every cheer, we won't give up till the final buzzer. We've never been more ready.
Need the composure. Jackson blows the roof off. Wow, it's LJ the GOAT. There's Jackson again.
Well, that's something that they're going to have to take care of business.
Through every heartache, through every cheer, we won't give up till the final buzzer. We've never been more ready.
Get closer to the game with the free WNBL app.
Clark with the and one.
Check out the fixture and grab your tickets.
What a finish to the third quarter.
Catch game highlights, stay connected to your favourite player or team, and follow live game stats. Anytime, anywhere.
Cole cracks two more.
The WNBL app is where it's at. Download now.
Celebrating 50 years of sneakers?
For a delicious dinner that disappears and lets you squeeze in one more episode before bed. Pick up Latina Fresh, Australia's favourite pasta and sauce. Latina, we got the weeknight.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
She's sorted. She's good. Lands it from three.
On line, on target.
Alice still crawling. Really wanted to get Alice back. Gets her eventually. Abby Alice for the win.
Oh my goodness! You could not have defended that any better, Abby Ellis.
Abby Alice, you are clutch. The game winner for the Fire.
And the works. They just need 5 to 7 minutes to roll down after the game. Get out of here. 5 to 7 minutes after the game, and then we'll set it up. You can sign, get all your stuff signed. The spirit merch, hats, whatever you got, yeah? All right. This next game is thanks to our friends at Signet. If you don't know what Signet is, they are the major naming rights partner at the WNBL. Go to signet.com and check out their full range of stuff. This is a 5K power bank, and we are going to power up the crowd with Signet. So the loudest person here is going to get a Signet power bank. Let's get loud, Mildura! Hey, we've got a whole other half of basketball, relax. We're going to need you in the second half. I didn't hear anybody at the top. Can you guys make some noise up there for me? Lay the cheap tickets up there. Can I hear you at the top, please? That's good. Is it not loud? Over here! I've got a couple of friends, I've got a couple of people that I'm keeping an eye on. If the team was about to come back out onto the court, how much noise would you make? It's got to be this guy wearing the muscle shirt. It's got to be this guy. If I don't give it to him, he's going to get some sort of aneurysm. That is awesome, right? Hey, just you. Make some noise, go. Just you. Ready? That's it, folks. That's the winner right there. Signet Power Bank. That's our friends at Signet. Stay tuned for three-quarter time. Three-quarter time. We got some gift cards thanks to our friends at Tennis Warehouse. I'm going to pick someone during this third quarter. If you hit a three-point shot, you'll get a $50 gift voucher. If you hit a half-court shot, I'll give you a $100 Tennis Warehouse gift voucher. So, thank you very much.
of domestic violence, and this season the WNBL, its clubs, athletes and the Players Association have united to raise awareness around this critical issue. Enough is enough. A life free from violence is possible, and when everyone plays a role, real change happens. So please learn how you can be a part of the solution by visiting Full Stop Australia. So a few moments away from getting the second half underway, Bendigo by 11 points. They seem to be cruising along at the moment. Do they need to change anything in the second half, or is it just a matter of same old, same old?
I think for them, this is business. Every single game, they'll have their own little targets that they want to reach, their own line that they don't want to drop below. And I think if you have a look at the stats, they've probably got a few more turnovers than what they would like, personally. I mean, unlike Sammy Wickham to have a couple already under her name. So I think there's obviously going to be things that they would like to work on, but they'd be pretty happy with 45 points. I don't think they'd be happy with what they've allowed Sydney to score. So I think there would have been a discussion defensively about what they need to do, just a few breakdowns. But overall, I think it's just business as usual, and they will really want to put their foot on the pedal this second half.
Well, just to expand on that, I mean, with the last few rounds, so we've still got 5 rounds to go after this, I think, and the top of the table clash on Wednesday night against Perth. And when you've had such a dominant season, you know you've got a good roster, you know things are clicking. How do you approach the back end of the season? Is it about maybe managing players' minutes? Do you try new things out there? Or is it just about consistency every time you take to the court?
Well, Bendigo are really fortunate, like Perth, that they've got their full lineup in. Touchwood, there's no injuries. They're able to really, they're finally starting to settle into starting lineups. They've had to experiment with that a little bit. So there would be lots that they are fine-tuning, tweaking, maybe a couple of little plays that they haven't been able to run or that they're keeping up their sleeves. So there would be so much to get out of these last few rounds. The biggest thing is consistency, and only they would know exactly what their line is and what that bar is that they don't want to drop below. But that would be what their focus is, game in, game out, to maintain that consistency so that by the time finals start, they feel absolutely 100% ready to go.
Bendigo and Perth in first and second position on the ladder. Are they the two clear top 2 teams in your opinion?
I think so. Look, Townsville have shown little snaps of what they're capable of. Nia Coffey coming in is going to be potentially a game changer for them because she does give them that really athletic height. But I think other than that, it's daylight, in all honesty, because those 3 teams have got full lineups, consistency, depth. They've got the results. So I think those three teams are the standout. But yeah, I think Bendigo and Perth are by all means the 2 best and most consistent teams for the whole season.
So Townsville in that 3rd position, and as we touched on in our last game that we called Geelong against Perth, when we had a look at the ladder, really the whole bottom half of the ladder can fit into the 4th position that is currently being held by Sydney, which I think is just quite remarkable to think that you've got half the competition fighting for that last spot in finals. It's going to be an incredible run home.
Absolutely, and if you look at their records, not any of those teams are even 50%. They've got more losses than wins, so you very rarely, if ever, see that. So it just shows that there's been a lot, like in those teams' defence, the 5 teams that are battling that out have been so up and down. Some of it's on them, but there's also been a lot of players in and out. So it is going to be very, very interesting to see how these last few rounds unfold.
It's going to be a crazy run to the finals. Both these teams are playing 2 matches in round 12. Of course, Bendigo, as I mentioned, take on Perth to kick off round 12 on Wednesday night before they back up against Geelong United on Sunday in the Flames. Their 2 games next week against Geelong United and Adelaide as well. So crunch time for them as Whitcomb gets us underway in the 3rd quarter.
I'm not sure what Sydney were doing there, but Wickham was just left wide open. So that was just a little gift for Sammy there to start the 3rd quarter.
Extends the margin out to 14 points. And they get a stop as well to start the 3rd. Really ramping things up as Griffin wants to get in on the action, but she's off target. Taylor with the rebound off to Tupea. To George. Haven't seen a lot of her this afternoon. That 3 attempt bounces off the rim.
She was able to have a little bit of a breather in that 2nd quarter, and you'll notice a few players have been like using the towel a lot. It must be very muggy in Mildura. So Kayla was able to have a little bit of an extended break, which you don't see much. But if there's anyone that can really lift in the scoring department for Sydney, it's Kayla.
Tupaya from downtown. It's no good. So 3 misses in a row to start the third from the Flames. Bendigo's lead now 14. And this is the time of the game where they did the damage 10 days ago as well. It really was the middle quarters where they asserted their authority. And the game was pretty much over at 3/4 time. So a really important quarter for Sydney to stay in touch.
You hear coaches talk about consistency all the time, and that's at 40 minutes is a long time, and it is. It is about learning how to be consistently good for that 40 minutes, because these teams are just too good that if you just give them little patches or a glimpse, a couple of turnovers, the game's out.
Burton adding to her tally. She's up to 15 points now. Beautiful pass inside for Dees.
That's trademark Kayla George there with her passing, and fantastic backdoor cut there on Dees. We've seen that a few times this season from her. Great finish.
Tolo with strength inside against George. George wins that little mini battle.
And Kayla, George and Tolo, such a good matchup. They know each other so well.
Oh, George with, again, the outstanding pass to Taylor, who led to the line for one more.
Beautiful play there. And that's back-to-back great high percentage baskets by the Flames that bring them back in this. Great pass.
Elite timing. She misses the free throw attempt, but Flames win it back to Paya. With strength, just muscling her way through. Just can't get it to go.
Yeah, such a good drive. Deserved better finish.
And that'll be an offensive foul against Wilson, who is edging ever so closer to that record of all-time assists in the competition. She's a couple away.
You'll notice with Kelsey Griffin over the years, very, very rarely does she complain or say anything. You can tell what she's thinking by a few little cheeky looks, but to her credit, she just moves on immediately to the next play. A great player for young players to watch on how to go about the game.
George to Dees. Downtown, can't get it to go. Taylor wins the rebound. Draws the contact.
She gets up there, Taylor. That was a great rebound. Now see if they can reward themselves from the free throw line.
Celeste Taylor averages the 8.4 points per game and the 3 rebounds, as you've mentioned.
Let's get a little bit louder.
Oh, 1 from 2.
Great work, Mildura. Great work.
Deficit sitting at 11, which was the halftime margin. Bendigo led by 7 at quarter time. Just having control out there at the moment, and Tolo adds a couple more. She gets in on the action.
She loves that long two. She's very effective. Teams tend to stand off her, but she's very effective at that long two.
Swain to Taylor, looking to make inroads on this lead. Denied by Burton, great block. And Wickham completes the play. Just continually get it done, this Bendigo Spirit outfit. Just not giving Sydney an inch. They don't give many teams an inch as Kayla George gives away the foul. And it'll be a Bendigo ball.
So the stats are down for us, so please bear with us. But we are on Kelly Wilson watch for 2 more assists for the all-time record, which is just an amazing accomplishment in what has been such a fantastic career by her, and still going.
Absolutely. I mean, it's incredible to be out there for that long, but to perform at that high standard for that long is just out of this world.
What's even more amazing is that she plays the off-season as well. She does not stop. So she plays NBL 1, comes back. She is like Forrest Gump of the WNBL.
Oh, we're so lucky to have her. Sydney, unfortunately, turn it over again at their offensive end. So I've only added 5 points to the halftime tally, the Flames. Bendigo will get another opportunity through Wilson. To Whitcomb. Kick out to Burton into the corner for Griffin. One way, then the other. Yeah. And it rolls in.
That's quality right there. Shot fake, power finish. Great ball movement by Bendigo Spirit there.
They're in full control in Mildura. And they go again with a block through Griffin. They've cranked things up a notch here in the third. Tolo looking for Whitcomb. A little fumble, ball goes out of play.
Whitcomb getting a little bit frustrated there, but she just doesn't stop working. That was a nice little look there by Tolo.
And we are going to head to a timeout here in the third quarter in Mildura. Bendigo Spirit well on top, leading 56-39 over the Sydney Flames. Sydney haven't been too good on the road so far this season. 1-4 is their record away from home, and 4-4 at home. So struggled to get it done on the road, and they're facing quite a big deficit at the moment. You can see that they are creating good opportunities. They're just not executing when they need to. And Bendigo will make you pay every time.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. They need to maintain scoreboard pressure, and unfortunately they're just not quite doing that right now. And as you said, Bendigo will punish that up the other end.
This timeout is brought to you by Latina Fresh. For a quick and easy weeknight dinner that the whole family will enjoy, pick up a family pack of Latina Fresh pasta and sauce. Ready in minutes and so delicious there won't be any complaints at the dinner table. Find Latina Fresh in a chilled pasta aisle near you. Kayla George to get play back underway. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sydney need to find an extra gear. Can Morris provide? She can't. Good hustle shown by George, but Burton on her hands and knees. Wins it for Bendigo and gives it off to Whitcomb. Races down the floor as D's for company. And she's gone out of play.
Whitcomb's been on the floor a lot tonight, but she just balanced that beam along the baseline there, and
She
Dee's
kept her
just
foot in.
yeah. I think she has a fair point to play though. Dee's kind of assisted her a little bit to fall out of court there, but the ref deeming that she could have dealt with that, and it's the Flames ball.
It's a good little mini win. George looking to make inroads on the deficit. Comes up short on the 3 attempt, but Dees finds 2.
If you can't bring the rebound in, tap it to someone that can. Great job there by Flames.
-15-point lead to the Spirit. But having a good match so far. Gets it off to Wera. Now to Whitcomb. They need to get a shot up. And she's off target. Can we get a few stops in a row, the Flames? Just put some scoreboard pressure. That's not going to help. Burton steals it away to Whitcomb. Outstanding.
Amazing pass. And how's Sammy Whitcomb sprinting the floor?
She's just played like a woman possessed this season, Sammy Whitcomb.
She's on a whole new level right across the board. It's not just scoring, and I mean, we all know she can shoot the you-know-what out of the 3, but she's scoring all over the floor this season.
defense from the Flames. Taylor George calling the shots. Gives it to Tapea. Back to George. Trying to go inside to Morris. And that wobbles in.
Great high-low. I mean, Morris is not going to get any smaller as the game goes on. So great job to keep going to her. Hopefully she keeps presenting down there. She is a force. And as I said, she's not going to get any smaller.
Whitcomb. George got a hand in there, but it ends up with Werong in the corner. Knocks down a three-pointer.
That's what Abby does. She's always ready to catch and shoot that shot. They look at her a lot, which is so good to see.
A new game-high margin of 18 points. Morris cuts it back to 16. Bendigo been the more consistent team this afternoon so far. Burton goes over the top to Tolo with a reverse. Nicely done.
Really nice finish by Tolo. We love seeing her aggressive. We want to see more of that. The more aggressive Tolo is, the more successful Bendigo are.
Tapea. Morris. All alone. Goes herself, but just can't get it done. Tolo again this time. Good defense from Morris. 90 seconds to play with in the third. Bendigo in full control. Sydney need to find a spark from somewhere. Kayla George is denied by the Spirit defense. Samuels finding a way through to Burton. Feet set, all alone. Thank you very much.
Beautiful Bendigo Spirit basketball there.
She's enjoying a great afternoon, is Burton, now up to 18 points and 8 rebounds as well. That was a third triple. Tapea, long range 2. It's offline. Whitcomb with the rebound. Samuels sweeping pass to Werong. They share it around to Burton. Who'll go for it? Whitcomb will. And she's no good. Taylor fighting aggressively for it. Morris to Tapea. Bendigo have lifted in the third. George with a late triple. Will that give them a little bit of confidence heading into three-quarter time? They're a long way back. Samuels. Oh, they just continue to find a way, Bendigo.
They're pretty to watch when they play like that, aren't they? And they've just got shooters everywhere.
Providing another dagger on the three-quarter time buzzer is Samuels. It's a big lead now to the Bendigo Spirit, 69-48 at three-quarter time.
This is for you, and you hold this microphone, and if I make it, I'll double it.
Three-quarter time at the Mildura Sporting Precinct, and it is the Bendigo Spirit in full control as we turn from home. They have opened up a 21-point lead thanks to a dominant third quarter where they were shooting them from absolutely everywhere, doing as they please out there against the Flames, who got a couple of good looks, but it is Bendigo who took things to a new level in that third quarter and turned an 11-point advantage at halftime into a commanding 21-point margin at three-quarter time. Jess Webster with you alongside Larissa Anderson in commentary. One more quarter to go. The margin is currently what it was 10 days ago when Bendigo beat Sydney by 21 points. So a big last quarter to come for Sydney. You'd think even if they can't get the job done this afternoon, they need to find something to take into next week, because it's becoming crunch time now as we enter the race towards the finals.
Absolutely. I think they need to have the focus here that at the end of the day, they're playing the top of the table away. They're undermanned, so they probably don't expect to win, but there are a lot of small wins that they can get out of this. But I think our biggest focus right now is that one of the all-time veterans of the league, Kelly Wilson, is one assist from being the all-time assist leader in the league, which is just and there she is with steal. It is just an amazing achievement. Amazing.
On assist watch this afternoon. Let's see if Kelly Wilson can get it done. Or maybe she just wants to go herself.
Here it is.
All right, here we go. Oh,
Abby.
And you know the MC court announcer has let the crowd know as well that she's one assist away. So we're all ready for it here in the final quarter. Big moment to come in Mildura. Swain pulls the trigger for three. Lovely.
She really does have a lovely shooting technique.
Takes a tally to 14 for the match. Bendigo looking to put the foot down here in the last quarter. Griffin with the rebound to Samuels. Werung. Wilson to inbound, gives it to Griffin, back to Wilson. Finding a way through, off the glass for a couple.
Good for her, not done scoring yet, thank you very much. Can't be focused on that one assist. We all know how capable she is of scoring. She always comes up with the basket when needed.
And the kind of player she is, she's not thinking about that record.
Never does.
Simpson onto the floor for the Spirit, gives it to Griffin. Into the corner for Samuels. Adds another triple to her tally. She loves it.
Oh, as she should. Just another great shooter. They're just pretty to watch when they're playing like this together.
Just like a well-oiled machine out there. Pittman makes a move.
And look,
it's nice.
They're doing such a good job, the coaching staff, and it's also such a blessing to have the caliber of experienced players that they have out there. You can just see it.
Simpson. Off to Werung. Pulls up for two, comes up short, and that's off the hands of Morris. So it'll be a Bendigo ball.
You can't teach experience, and Guy Malloy that is what he's doing all season, is teaching and teaching and teaching. So they're going to keep being up and down and have those little patches, whereas Bendigo, they are as experienced as you like, and it just gets them through, along with their plethora of talent.
Wilson to Griffin to the corner for Werung.
I mean, look at that ball movement. Very, very selfless, not thinking about their own stats. Ooh.
And I mean no disrespect by this, but is it abnormal to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players over the age of 30 and be so dominant in a season like this?
Look, possibly.
5 over the age of 35?
But not these players. Like, they are the ultimate professionals, the way they look after themselves. They lead the way on and off the floor in terms of their work ethic, how they look after their bodies. There is a reason that they are still playing at this level. They look after themselves. They do all the right things and more. So you can chat to any player that's played with them. they just lead by example and pull people along to lift to their level.
21 points is the Bendigo lead. Sydney cough it up at their offensive end. Maybe we're through the hands of Griffin and now to Wilson. Burton goes to ground and no score. Sydney ball. So Burton leading with 18 points for Bendigo. Wickham with 16. Leading point scorers for the Spirit and for the Flames. Swain with 14. And she's the only player in double digits so far for Sydney. Here she is on cue.
And for those watching at home, just as excited as we are right now, Kristen Veal and Kelly Wilson are even on 1,617 all-time assists.
It's an incredible number.
One more will give Kelly Wilson the outright lead.
Here she is, ball in hand. Gives it off to Griffin,
who dribbles
and sends it into the corner for Werong. Oh, I thought that was the moment too. It's with the veterans combining. Not to be, we go again, 6 minutes to go. Swain, off target. Griffin. Now to Samuels, who's had a hot hand from the perimeter. Werong, a couple of players tangle. It's a foul against Samuels. First home game of sorts for Bendigo since round 8. We are in Mildura, but same but different. They've been on a bit of a road trip recently and continue to keep the wins ticking over. They're on their way to a 13th win of the season, just the 2 losses, both coming in round 8. Setting themselves up nicely for tilt at the Premiership season 24-25. Five and a half minutes to go in the last. Sydney looking to take a bit of confidence heading into a couple of big matches for them next week. George for 2.
There's some really nice plays from the Flames. They're just not finishing some of them.
And they just haven't dropped, have they?
Yeah, just haven't dropped. But some really nice plays, and that's the sort of thing they've got to take out of this game.
Wickham working hard towards the rack. That's a couple more.
Be interesting to see at what point it comes where you see the bench coming in. You see Georgia Booth has entered the game for the Spirit. Got 3 bench on at the moment for the Spirit, which is always great.
Such great experience. Is Tupaya for a triple.
But I do love when you combine the veterans with the bench so that the bench get the chance to actually benefit playing with the veterans and really see how it goes. Often you see the whole bench on together, which eventually hopefully we do see. But it's invaluable for your youngsters to get a chance to play with your veterans and actually learn in real time.
Nightingale also onto the floor for the Spirit. Gives it to Wickham. Can't knock it down.
Hopefully we see Kelly Wilson back out there shortly.
Taylor finds a way through traffic beautifully. Right, Sabre for the top of the table clash against Perth on Wednesday night at home. What do you reckon?
Oh, I hope not. But nor do you want to risk any injury or anything happening either. When you've got a game in control and you've got such a big game coming up, that is your utmost priority.
This is pretty much a repeat of 10 days ago. Bendigo had the game won at 3/4 time and just scored the 10 points in the last, but the damage was done against the Flames. And they're going to make it a clean sweep as well in season 24-25 against Sydney, whose position in the top 4 is looking a little shaky. It'll be a fascinating run home, as we've mentioned. Simpson for the Spirit. making a move and getting the job done.
Yeah, great basket by Mika Simpson there. She's had some good minutes with the Spirit this year.
George continues to work hard for her team. And Kalea into the action and knocks down a three-pointer.
Another player that's probably reaped a few more minutes this season due to injury, but she's such a hard worker.
Turnover, Taylor looking for support. Brand Catazano. Will she go 2 from 2? Overcooked it a little.
Someone opened a window, we'll say.
So final 3 minutes of the final match of round 11. Another fascinating round in the Signet WNBL competition. And we're going to head to a timeout called by Guy Malloy with his team 18 points down against the competition leaders. So it was Bendigo by 7 at quarter time, 11 at half time, 21 at three-quarter time. So made slight inroads here in the last, and no doubt that'll be something that they'll want to talk about and focus on, is just winning the last quarter, and as we keep touching on, just try and take some confidence and momentum heading into next week. It's not easy backing up 2 games in a row against this formidable top of the table Bendigo Spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Flames have got things to focus on for themselves here, and as Bendigo tend to rotate their bench and go with different lineups, as you would with another game on Wednesday night, this is where the Flames can stay really focused on what they need to do, what they need to achieve, and what they need to get ready for their upcoming games. They would want that 4th spot more than anything, knowing that hopefully they've got Clark and Ruth coming back in. Ruth has been battling a pretty nasty knee injury. We hope she's not far away. And hopefully Emma Clark's not far away either, because they would make a huge difference and be worthy of that 4th spot to do some damage, as they've shown with some of the results that they've had this season.
This timeout brought to you by Foot Locker. Foot Locker is celebrating 50 years of sneakers. Celebrate the half-century in the current hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel at your nearest Foot Locker, the official major partner of the WNBL. Play back underway. Sydney with possession. Taylor.
Great drive.
To George. Just comes up a little short.
Taylor probably could have ended up taking that left-hand layup there. But that was also a gimme to Kayla George. She would normally make, I'd say, even 9.5 out of 10 of those little short corner shots.
She's an absolute workhorse for Sydney Flames. She puts in so many minutes, averages, I think, the 37 minutes. Basically plays all game, every game for Sydney Flames, just Kayla George. She's an incredible athlete.
Well, again, you're mentioning players over the age of 30. I mean, she's another one that's just been around for so long that I used to play against her, which makes me feel exceptionally old, but also special that I got to play against her and then coach her over at the Boomers. She should just be so proud of her career. There's nothing that Kayla has not achieved. Olympic medals, championships, individual accolades, but most impressively for me this season for her is the outstanding leadership that she has shown through just the different challenges that have been presented to this group this year. She's just always so behind each of her players and rallies them.
On cue. Oh, beautiful move. Yeah, it rolls in. We're winning titles here in America, of course, as well. The 11th Australian to win a WNBA title recently. Superb career for Kayla George. She's not done with yet.
Absolutely not.
There's a chance for Bendigo through Booth. And she gets the foul.
Nice drive here by Booth. Didn't quite finish it, but really strong on this rebound. If you see here, she just rips it down.
Kelly Wilson's checked back into the game in the last 2 minutes.
Good to know we're all on the same page here. We're all here for it. Let's go, Kel.
1 assist away from the all-time record.
Let's not be remiss, though, and say what an amazing record it's been held by Veal. I mean, just an outstanding player herself, and I'm sure she'd be at home cheering, because Kristen Veal was exactly like Kelly Wilson, and that it was not about her. And I'm sure she'd be the first one at home cheering on Kelly.
I feel like if you hold the all-time assist record, it's never about you.
No, it's
constantly giving it away.
Let's assist it to somebody else.
Yeah. Minute and a half to go. Kalea sweeping pass, kicks it out. Free attempters off target. Here goes Georgia Booth, a lovely individual move. Can't make it count. Taylor takes it away for the Flames. Taylor gets it back from George. And goes out to Kalea. To Paya, pulls the trigger. And we're into the final 60 seconds at Mildura. Bendigo well on top, but we're looking for Kelly Wilson for the assist. Just go for it, Samuels. Here we go. Kelly off to Booth. Will the young gun help create history? No, she gives it off to Nightingale. He pops it up and in.
They've got a nice little high-low going, Bendigo. They've got a lot of scores off that. We've seen Sydney go to it a couple of times as well. It's just always so great to see these younger players rewarded with some time like this.
Simpson's just 21 years of age. Booth as well, 21.
Okay, here we go. Is it the last play of the game?
Oh, she's lost it.
Or do we see it in front of our home crowd, the true home crowd in Bendigo on Wednesday?
Is there any sense of theatre from the Spirit? Maybe. Simpson for a triple. Couldn't get it to go. And we'll have to wait another week to see Kelly Wilson make history as Tapia with the last shot of the game. A dominant victory to the Bendigo Spirit in Mildura. They make it a clean sweep over the Sydney Flames, 80-62.
Yeah, great all-round win there by Bendigo. That's just a feel-good win for them. Not taking away anything from the Flames. I mean, they're a depleted side. There was some really good things from them. And now they focus to an all-important round 12 clash against Geelong on Friday night, which is just vital for that fourth spot.
Certainly is. Bendigo Spirit warming up for a top-of-table clash against Perth at home next Wednesday night. We look forward to that. But let's take a look at some of the highlights from this afternoon's game. And really, Bendigo set the tone early. They led by 7 at quarter time and just kept extending the margin. The game was over by three-quarter time. They led by 21 and won by 18 in the end. But they're like a well-oiled machine at the moment. I think it was really impressive to come off a mini road shoot where they went from Adelaide to Townsville to Sydney to come back to Victoria and still perform at this high standard. It's really impressive.
Well, you can just tell, though, when you watch how the team's going, you chat to the coaches, you can see they're just embracing it. The fact is that the WNBL has a lot of travel in it, and the huge benefit to that is more quality time together as a team. So it allows them to explore the country. They've got people like Burton in there, who first time to Australia, who would be so excited to see these sites. You've got some new young players in there that have never had the experience of playing WNBL. So if you embrace the opportunity to travel, it can be really exciting and bring a team really together, and that's clearly what they're doing.
Sammy Wickham on screen, one of the leading MVP contenders of this season. She finished with the 18 points as well. Kelsey Griffin as well doing some Griffin things. She's finished nearly in double territory, 12 points and 9 rebounds. They certainly shared it around Bendigo and Sydney. A bit to work on, but it's just been an up and down season. And as you mentioned, they just need to stay in touch with the top four, because if they get some of their great players back, they can really make a run for it in that playoff spot.
Well, we saw with this exact lineup only a couple of rounds ago, they scored 99 points against the Flyers and had a fantastic win there. So we know that they are capable. Bendigo are just in really good form. It's away. You would hope that the Flames don't take this too hard. They've just played the top team 2 games in a row, which is probably rotten timing for them with the injuries that they've got. So they just need to learn from that, move onward, and know now they are top of the table. That's where we stand against them with our players out. Now let's focus on Geelong.
Yeah, a lot to take out for the Flames. A couple of big games to come next week as against Geelong, as you mentioned, and also Adelaide. So a couple of winnable games there, again, to keep them in touch with that top 4. Burton and Wickham led the way with 18 points. Griffin with the 9 rebounds, but also putting in with 6 assists, Kayla George as well. Another great performance from her, 8 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. She continues to do everything for her side. Shanice Swain putting in another solid performance with 14. And Kelly Wilson will have to wait another week to break the all-time record for most assists in the WNBL. So it's going to be a nice subplot to the big clash we've got coming on Wednesday night. But Veronica Burton, as we've touched on throughout the call, she was great today. And really, I think from the opening tip-off, she was one of the leading players for Bendigo. Really consistent performance.
She was very impressive tonight, and a really good variety of how she did score. I love how, so you can see there, the assists. It's not, she never just scores. She plays both ends. 8 rebounds for a guard is huge. 6 assists, that is absolutely filling the stat sheet. And at such a high clip too. So, but congratulations to Kelly Wilson, now the all-time shared equal with Kristen Veal. And look, again, I played against Kristen Veal for a long time and Kelly Wilson. Both of them just absolutely amazing players to play with, point guards at their very best. And congratulations to you, Kelly Wilson, and best of luck with what you will no doubt do on Wednesday night.
Yeah, all eyes will be glued to that Wednesday night fixture. But this is the final game of round 11, so another crazy round of Signet WNBL hoops. And we saw a couple of really close games there. Geelong 76-70 over the Flyers. That was just a thrilling come from behind victory. They went down by Perth, to Perth by 3 points earlier today. But I feel like there's so many twists and turns in this competition at the moment. It's hard to know where to look.
Look, I think the big standouts this round is a fantastic job by Geelong to get that win over the Flyers, and then to only go down by 3 to Perth, considering the players they've got out. Look, I know that Adelaide and Flyers in particular would be so disappointed with their round. That's even though everyone technically has a mathematical chance, that's going to make it officially really tough for the Flyers and Adelaide, which is really unfortunate given that the calibre and what we know that they're all capable of. So, and well done to Canberra, who have just strung their 3-game winning streak off the back of an outstanding game by young Poch. It's so fun to see a young team that Paul Goris has taken under his wing this year just get better and better every single week. And that's all you can ask for in this league, and there's still 5 rounds to go, so anything is possible.
They play with such passion, the UC Caps, some of the young players out there giving it their all. But all eyes now on Wednesday night, top of the table, first spot on the line, Bendigo taking on Perth. How do you see that one playing out?
Oh, it's going to be such a good game, and there are no excuses. This is the best that the WNBL have got this season. If there is ever a game that you all need to get behind and tune into on Wednesday night, it is between the Bendigo Spirit and the Perth Lynx. It is going to give you everything. I'm expecting 2 full-strength teams. They are, look, Bendigo are going to feel like they absolutely owe Perth from that loss just before Christmas. That was their first loss of the season at home. So this is going to be, look, I'm very much looking forward to the battle. There are going to be battles and quality battles and lineups and matchups all over the floor.
A genuine blockbuster. 7 p.m. Wednesday, don't miss it. Bendigo against Perth. That's all we've got time for this afternoon. On behalf of myself, Jess Webster and Larissa Anderson, great to spend a Sunday with you doing a doubleheader. Larissa and our entire production team, we hope you enjoyed the coverage today. Bendigo, too strong over Sydney. They won by 18. Bye for now.
Ellis driving baseline. What a dive!
Wickham, how sweet was that? Step back 3,
Wow.
Kayla George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic, it was impressive, it was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melwin, the lefty lay-in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from 3. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.